everyone. Welcome to another lab. In this lab, we are going to select and configure a dual monitors. Dual monitors is one of the most common in the office space because the employee want to use the great visual display to see everything what they are working on, not hiding behind another browser or another window. That is the main reason of using the dual monitor or maybe triple or four different kind of the monitor that you have seen in the office space. In this lab, here is the scenario that have given to us. It's a marketing employee who creates and edit graphics, video, and presentation has requested dual monitor to help them be more efficient and manage multiple creative applications simultaneously. That is exactly what the dual monitor used for. You have already placed the second monitor to the left of computer. Use the item in the inventory to complete this task by doing the following. This lab is the something the other lab that we have done before this. If you are following this pattern or the sequence of this lab, it's kind of you already have an idea. However, in the previous lab, we will have done only one single monitor, but this one we have to connect to different monitor. So since you already maybe see the idea, some of the tasks that you already done, but it's still you have to repeat it again to do this lab. But let's start with the list of tasks that we have down here, and let's approach one by one. So the first one says select and install the PCIe video card that provide dual monitor support using DVI and HDMI cable. So that's the first step. This is the one I say if you already done the lab before this one, that means you already familiar with how to do this one. However, let's start because if you don't do this part, there's no way we can complete this lab. In order to do that, the first thing I want to make sure is since you are going to install the PC Lab, I want to make sure you are powered off the computer. If this is actually the real computer that you are working on, I even recommend to make sure you unplug the power from the wall. Not only just shut down the power. Not only that, I really recommend that you have to use the worst tape that can able to protect you to make sure the ESD is not discharged to you or damaging the computer. So you have to make sure that you are using some sort of protection. However, since this is just the lab, this is not really actual computer. So we still, to good practice, we have to shut down or power off. So the other thing that we have to do is we have to go into the motherboard, right? Because that's where we are going to check if there's any other video card already installed. As you see down here, there's nothing in there. So we have to go to the GPU or expansion card and make sure the type of PCI that or the video card that going to support this function, which is very much is exactly the same thing that we already have done in the previous lab. So this is the only one which have DVI and HDMI, so we have to grab that and connect to one of these spaces. Kind of the same thing what we have done with the other lab, but we can just go with the first one, and then hopefully that will be work. Second one is we have to connect the 6-pin PCI power supply. Again, this is the same thing what we have done in the previous lab. If you haven't done that yet, so this is the good, it's good example of that lab, and you have to go back and do that. So how we can able to get the power every time, make sure you click on the power supply, because all the connection is come from the power supply. And you have to look for the 6-pin PCIe, and then you have to plug that into right there. As I said, we already did this lab before, but if it's new for you, that is the right place that you have to plug in. Second, third, very much, so we have to move on the other task, which is say connect the original monitor to the new video card using the existing DVI cable. So we know that this is the new monitor that is on the left side, because that's actually what the instructions say. You already place the second monitor to the left of the computer, which is right here on the left side. Use the item, and then that's what we have to do. But if you turn this one back, as you see right here, there's nothing connected. When we talk about this, we are actually talking about another monitor which is finding on this side. So in order to do that, we have to turn this one out of the way, and you can see that there's the connection already right here. So if you click on that one, there is the DVI to DVI cable. So that is the one it talking about, the instruction talking about. So in order to connect this one to the right space, you have to turn back this computer to the back side. One of the things that you have to understand when we are talking about the PCI is that this is the part of this is what the PCI, because it's the peripheral expansion. That's why anything you want to connect to here, and then that's where it's supposed to be go. So if you click on this one, as you see right here, that's the DVI, as we already see, but it show where actually it's connected on the computer, but it's up here. So even though we connect the video card down here, the connector is down here, up here, but that's why we have to move that down here to here. So that's what it means by connect the DVI cable down here. So we have to move that down. Moving on, it asks us to connect the new monitor using an HDMI. So that's how we know this is the new monitor. So what we have to do is to go back to cables, and the cable we have only HDMI down here. So grab that, put right here, and put one side on the monitor and the other side on computer, but it still make sure it's inside here, not outside, because if you put on the outside, it will be not work, because this is actually, you can maybe put right here, but it's not going to be work, because this is actually where the video card is available, or that's where it's connected. After that, what we supposed to do is to power on the computer and set the new monitor at the main display with the start menu and the taskbar. So we have to turn everything to front side, including the other monitor, to make sure everything is turned down here. And then finally, we have to turn on the power of the computer to make sure if it's going to be work or not. As you see, the window logo is loaded. So that means this computer is correctly connected. So what the task given to us, the first part is power on the computer, which we have done that. And then now say, set the new monitor as a main display, and which is we can do that one from taskbar. So we either there's a lot of different way that you can get to there. So you can start with the setting, or you can just type display, and then that's how you see the display setting. Or you can just easily right click on the window, and you can just click on display setting. So that's the other way you can able to get into wherever you go, you can able to get to this setting. So what the question asks is, as you see, this is the first window, which I consider that's the new one. And as you see right here, they making this main display is already disabled. So that's what I think that is not the right one. So we have to click on that and make this the main display. So what we mean by the main display. So if you don't know what the main display is, that when you open the computer all the time, whatever monitor that you select as the main display, all your application that you have on desktop should be displayed on that. Or any application that you open, it run Windows open on that monitor first, and then after that you can drag to the another monitor to display. So that is how you know that's your main display. All the desktop application is over there, and that way you can know that that is your main display. So how you can do it, you can just click on it and then go to the main, and that way you can able to make this display. That's why it is deactivated right now. So the other part is select, identify, and drag the screen to reflect the physical placement. So if we click here, as you see, this is window one, I mean the monitor one, which we are on. But as we know, on the other side, it's not like that. So there's the number two is the new one. So the new one is on the left side. The old one is on the right side. So that's why we have to put like the right place of the monitor, and then you have to apply that. If you don't apply, even though you change the place, it's not going to be work. Okay, so that is how you can adjust the display of your monitor, and then this way it's easier for you to work around, or it's easier for the customer that easily to move from one window to the other window. Because if you put this side, and then when you move your mouse to like between the two monitor, it's not go like that. It's just being crazy, because you have to go this way and then back to this way. It's kind of like you go back and around. But if you put like this, you just go between the monitor just like this. The mouse is just like that. So that's why we need to drag and drop like that. So you can go back here and see what the monitor look like. So that's actually how your environment is look like. And then that's how you know, like we was working on monitor one, that is on the right side, and another monitor that's monitor two, that is on the left side. So if you was confused between like where it was, that's what it looked like. So like as I say, if you are working on this one, you can just keep moving between this one. But there's no any application on desktop beside the recycle, which is supposed to be on every monitor. So that's why it doesn't look like, we don't really know which one is main and which one is not. So very much. This should be conclude this lab, and let's score the lab and see if we correctly did everything. Here we go. All right, as you see, we are score 100%, so that this lab is correctly done. And if you have any question, please don't forget to comment, or I can reply back. And if there's any question, please don't forget to leave the comment. And thank you for following this pattern of the lab or this series of the lab. I really appreciate that. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more labs to come. So stay tuned and see you guys in another lab.